Hello, hello. I already got us here. I hope this message resonates to whomever it is meant for. May the divine bring you the wisdom and the understanding that you need in this time so that you can have the clarity that you need to move forward, to move within, to go within, to trust, to believe, to add to any beliefs that you have or take away any beliefs that you have. I'm really hoping this for you. And I hope that this message is able to ground you in a way that helps you go within. All right, so we are going to pull the very first card today. Let's see what it says. It says detachment. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. So detaching from whatever it is that you are wanting in your life right now, whether it's some goals that you've set, whether it is, let's say we're not just going to talk about material things. This channel isn't just about material things. It's about going within. Yes, we want material things. Yes, we want to see external things, but this is also about going within. So let's just try to talk about, within, and we can go back and forth with both a little bit. So let's say that you are wanting to build confidence and you're really wanting to, go within and gain some stability within and grow and love yourself more so that you can love others more outside. Or maybe you want to be able to go within and love yourself more so that you can manifest that love outwardly from others in relationships or friendships and things like that. It's detaching from it. Detach from wanting it so bad. Detach from, you're creating a resistance towards it. When you worry about it, when you worry about growing, when you worry about trying to be the very best that you can be, when you worry about it, when you add that, you're adding resistance to it. And we're supposed to, in this process, it's about trusting the divine. Divine wants you to know that, you can trust. You can trust this. You can go within and trust this no matter what you want. If it externally, inwardly, it's about trusting. It's about trusting and letting that go and believing that what you wants you, and believing that and having that faith to get to have that and to stand in that. It's a beautiful thing. So when you detach from it, you don't have that resistance on it anymore. It's like you're in the way. When you worry about it, you're still holding on. When you feeling doubt about it, you're holding on. When you feel fear about it, you're holding on. When you feeling anything, when the ego's on it, you're holding on to it. You're in the way. You're still letting divine know, no, I want this. And you're letting the ego try to control it because you want the narrative to go the way that you want it to go. But the divine is wanting you to just trust and to detach from it so the divine can bring forth to you what is meant for you in that time. You have to surrender to that desire, that vision, that whatever it is that you're wanting. You have to let it go. Let go and know that God has you. Know that the divine has you. Have you. Know that you can safely let go. Know that you are worthy of whatever that you want. Know that you are worthy of it. So it's about detaching. We have to detach. We have to detach from those desires, whether it's within, those desires that you want for yourself within, or externally. It's detachment. Detach from it. Let it go. Let that detachment go. And know that, and when you let it go, when you stop the resisting, holding on to it, that's when it comes. That's why at the bottom it says, ironically, that often That's often when it's fulfilled. And it's true. When you let it go and you don't think about it no more, when you let it go and you just continue to be the very best you can be, continue to work on you, continue to take one step at a time. And that's what I had to do. I had to take one step at a time. I know I was so hard on myself about just growing and becoming better and, growing and gaining the confidence. Because remember I said my confidence had, lowered a lot within this spiritual journey. And because I was finding myself, not again, but I believe that, I was taking out the old and bringing in the new, and detaching from that old, even detaching from that old reality, detaching from, that the beliefs that I had, and detaching from, I had to detach also from wanting it so bad as well. So maybe this is a time of detachment. So if you are on this spiritual journey and you're trying to gain that confidence within, and so that it can show outwardly, or you're wanting to externally have anything, well, it does first start within as well. But detaching from, maybe it's some beliefs you have right now. Maybe it's some beliefs that you have right now that needs to, go, be left behind. Maybe it's some habits you have that, is holding you down, is weighting you down. Remember I was talking about, we want this journey to be as weightless as possible. That's the point of the journey. We're taking off anything that's heavy, any people, any places, anything that is heavy, and we bringing in, and we're just being, actually, and letting the divine bring in, that weightless, that unlimitless, energy that is for us. And that energy can be anything, because it can show through anything. The what is brought can be within anything, but of course it starts with us. But when we detach from that, those beliefs, and when we detach from just even emotions, even old emotions, detaching from it is important. I know I had to do that. I had to, and still in the process with the emotions part of detaching, and really just being, So maybe that's what you're having to do. Maybe this is a message from the divine to detach from the outcome and trust. Detach from the outcome and trust. Let's not create that resistance, that doesn't serve us. Holding on to it does not serve us. It's like playing tug of war with the divine, and divine really is not going to play tug of war with you, okay? Because we all have free will. So if we want it and we ask for it, holding on to it doesn't bring it. It withholds it. It prolongs it. So when I decided to just let go, and not just with confidence, just with a lot of things, with just, some habits I had, and I just wanted to let go, and just when I detached from it and understood that every time I try to hold on to it, there's something that would show me. There's something that will show me that, listen, you're not in control of this. We're here to help. The divine is here to help. You don't have to be in this alone. Every time I try to control it, there was always something showing me that you have to let this go. You have to let your way go. How about that? You have to let your way go. Especially if you're walking in this divine journey, this spiritual journey, you have to let your way go, because it cannot prosper. I can't send you the mess. I can't get you where I need you to be right now, so that you can receive what is meant for you right now. So in the future, you can say the messages and mean the messages when it's time for you to mean the message, if you hold on to what you have held on to. So this is proof that I have detached from that and gained whatever the many things that I was really dealing with, You know, this channel is living. Please know that this channel is living proof that I really had to surrender. That I'm not just talking this, you all. I'm not just talking this. I'm not just saying this. I had to surrender to so much, so many old beliefs, so many doubts, so many fears that had crept up. And when I say they crept up because I'm like, where did this come from? Because I was good. Well, at least I thought that. But it was some stuff that I had to learn more. There was some stuff. That's why I tell you, I'm not here to change your belief. I'm just here to add to it. So there is some stuff that I need to add, and there is some stuff that needed taken away, and I decided to take a lot away. You can decide to take a lot of old beliefs away, but I'm here to just give you a different perspective, a different perception on a lot of topics, so that you can either add and take away, or you can take away a bunch and add more. And I just hope that it's just leading you down the right path, and to focus on the center when doing it. You know, do it with love. Do it with love. Not being angry at yourself for doing whatever it is that you're doing now or have done, but moving this stuff out the way with love. Okay, this doesn't serve me. I'm gonna remove this out of my life out of love. Anger doesn't serve me. I'm gonna remove this out of my life out of love. Doing it this way doesn't serve me. I'm gonna move it out of my life out of love. This person doesn't serve me. I'm gonna remove them out of my life out of love. And it's not that it's some people that is in your life. It's not that they are doing this consciously. So there might be things that's going on, and you have to remove a person out of your life because you're just growing. You're on this journey, and you're in the center. You're operating from the center. And most people, many people are on. All of us are on different levels, and maybe that's something that they have to get to. They have to learn to get to that center. So this may not be forever for people, you know, but maybe it is. You never know. But please don't let that hurt you, because knowing that really would help. That made me hold on to it even more when I'm like, oh my goodness, I want people to grow. Let me hold on to them. No, because when you hold on to them, they do not grow. I'm telling you that. When you hold on to people, they do not grow. You know what? I'm not gonna say they don't grow. I can honestly say, for me, when I've held on to people, places, and things, it prolonged their journey and my journey. I've saw this from experience. I'm gonna just say from my journey. I'm not gonna say that what you're doing is right or wrong. Remember, we're not trying to do right or wrong. We're all experiencing this differently. So that's why I do my best to talk about my experiences and how, they went. And maybe you can find some similarities in it and have that open mind and heart with it as well. But detaching is super important right now, and have that courage to detach. It takes courage to detach. And if you detach from some things already, I'm proud of you. Please know how beautiful that is. Please know how beautiful detaching is, because we want to hold on so much to the memories, to the visions, to the desires, to the goals. We want to hold on to them. Well, what we don't realize is that the divine, once we set out that intention, that's why I always say go within, sit down, ask the questions, and go within and set that intention of what you want, and really let it go after that, because the divine is at work immediately when we do that. Immediately. It's about having that strong foundation, that strong relationship with the divine, so that you can know that when you set out an intention, when you set out whatever you want, whether it's confidence, whether it's love, whether it's truth, even with truth, anything with truth, all external things, all, when you set out when you set the intention and you go within and you believe, you go within, talk to the divine, ask the divine, believe, trust, have the faith. It has to come to you. It has to you. From my experience, I'm like, ooh, that's law. That's why you hear me say, I'm like, that's law. It's law on my behalf. Like, maybe you don't have to believe that, but I believe that's law. That's law. And be able to receive it with ease. What is meant for you. Be able to receive it with ease because you've been doing the work. You've been not the work. You've been moving the energy. You've been putting in the energy that needs to go within, and you've been taking out the energy that should not be there. So detach from it. Detach. I'm gonna pull another card. Non-duality. I love this card. It says, let your authentic humanity shine forth while also knowing... I apologize. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. So being authentic. Detaching from the old way of the way that you do things. Maybe you remember we were talking about that confidence. You remember we were talking about, you probably was acting from a place of that wasn't true to yourself, right? This may be for someone who may be been acting from a place that wasn't true. And maybe it's a time in your life you having to detach from that person. You having to detach from the unauthentic you and go within, find out who that authentic person is and show that forth and be that, and do it with non-duality, because you can when you trust what's within, it's going to show outwardly, if this makes sense. And when you can do that, you can become both. You can be fluid in both, because it's true within. If it's true within, it's true externally as well. So it's detaching from that old self and gaining the authenticity of who you are, and know that it can be fluently done. Being who you have worked so hard to be. You have moved so much energy to be throughout this journey. Being that outwardly as well. Knowing that it can be done. Bowing to the inner divine. Trusting. Loving. Doing it through true offering. Letting go. Clearing out any negativity that doesn't serve you. That's how you get to that authentic you. That's how you get to that authentic you. And remember, this is your path. So however you do this, however you move forward, this is your path. And don't be afraid to take the time to take that time and to go inwardly. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that. I'm going to pull another card. It says divine abundance. You are born to align with love's will. Follow the tail and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. If this not my story, I don't even know what to even say. Like, if this is definitely, I had to detach. I had to detach. I had to detach from that old self. I had to detach from the reality that I thought was true. Well, it wasn't that it wasn't true, but there were some things that I had learned along the way. There were some habits. There was some healing that needs to be done. There was some self-love that needs to be that needed attended to. There was so much going within that needed to do. So I had to detach. I had to detach from so much. I had so many goals I had set. I remember on the video when I was talking about, what was that video? Don't do this right now, Ari. It was a video I was talking about. I had a brand and everything. I had started my brand. I was, a year or two in my brand. And I had set so many goals within this brand. I had so many opportunities that I wanted. I saw the person that I wanted to be, right? And I saw the vision I had the vision. I had all of it. But what I'm so grateful for I'm so grateful that I went through this, because from an outsider, it looked like I had, gave up, or it looked like I had not necessarily gave up. It's like, what happened? But when I look at it, the person who I was couldn't be the person that I saw myself as. Or couldn't accomplish the goals or the visions that I saw. I wasn't going to be able to accomplish it being that person that I was. I wasn't going to be able to accomplish those things with the beliefs and the habits that I had. I wasn't going to be able to accomplish any of that if I didn't have absolutely nothing but love in my heart. Does that make sense? I wasn't going to be able to accomplish any of this. So I had to detach. I had to detach, go within, trust, set my intentions, ask the divine. I didn't know some things. I didn't even know what to ask. I just started asking. And that's how I got so good at just asking. I wasn't afraid to ask either. I surely wasn't. I wanted the truth. Why am I going through this? What does this mean? Divine, I know that there's more to life. I knew that. I always knew that there was more to life than what I had learned. I always knew that there was more that I'm like, hold on. And we're going to talk about this in a whole nother video. Maybe not now, because it may not be the time, but I was, I'm not going to even speak on that right now, but it was a lot that I just wanted to learn. And that was the perfect time. Now, at that time, did I feel like it was the perfect time? Absolutely not. No, I didn't. I'm like, what? Like, why at this time? Like, no. Remember, I was telling you about the fork road. I really wanted to take that other route and just continue on with my business and ignore going within and ignore doing that inner work, more inner work, because I was already doing it at the time, but I was doing it still with the ego. I still was trying to control everything. I was still trying to be in control. It wasn't that I wasn't doing moving energy. It wasn't that I wasn't doing the work, as we would say. Work. The only reason why I always correct myself with work, because I do not believe anything that you love doing or is natural should be called work. That's why I continue to correct myself with that. So yes, I had to detach. I had to. And so I had to go within, right? That goes to this non-duality card. I had to go within, right? And I had to bow down to that inner, this is good. I had to bow down to that inner divine. I had to go within and really, remember, I was stripped from the confidence. I was stripped from the habits, the beliefs. Remember, I had to take out those old beliefs. I had to unlearn and relearn. I had to get that energy up out of me. I had to heal. I had to bow down to that inner divine so that I can be my authentic self, and so that I could be fluent in both. So I can be right here on this page right now and talk to you about this. Wow. Then there goes divine abundance to the next card, where it says you were born to align with love's will, Follow the tail and let something serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundant, not chase it. Remember, I was telling you about that I was trying to work out of ego. I was moving out of ego. I was doing it out of ego. It wasn't that I wasn't moving the energy, but I was doing it out of ego. And what does this card say? You were born to align with love's will. Remember, I was saying this needed to be done out of the heart. Anything that all of how I saw my visions and my goals, I care about people wholeheartedly so much. I really do. I honestly didn't know how I would get there, but that's what this is saying. This has to be what I saw myself doing. It had to be out of love, and it's not that I didn't have that intent, because the intention was always there, but it was a way I couldn't do it with the beliefs and that I had. It could not be done with the beliefs I had. It couldn't. What I saw myself doing, what I saw as my goals, it had to be done out of love. This is different. This is different. This is not being done out of the mind and out of the ego and logical. And it's nothing against people who move that way. We are all on different levels. But when what this is, I knew that I knew that it had to be done out of love. I knew it, but I was doing it with the ego. So I had to get stripped from some of the beliefs. Listen, I know somebody may be on this journey now. It has to be. This is the same thing that has happened to me. And there's someone here that may be going through this same thing. It's because you have to grow that business out of love, not out of ego, not out of logic. It's because you have to become the best you out of love, not out of ego, not out of logic. And if you do choose that path, that's okay. Thank God for the love of growth and experience and forgiveness. And what are we forgiving? You being you learning, you growing. So listen, whatever. If you've done it already, okay, that's beautiful. Now you got something you can you expand it. Now you got something you can learn some that can back you up. Oh, I did this out of logic. Let me not do. And then look at the outcome. Look at the outcome of doing something out of logic or ego. And when you do that, and see where it had got you, then you want to learn to operate it from a different angle, from a different energy. That was the whole point of this. That was the whole point. That this is a beautiful message, though. I really do. And here it is, the love card. I didn't pull this card. I just see this card. Love card. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. So listen, I was looking at those visions and those beliefs as love. You know? Maybe, and it's saying no person, place, or thing. That's not the next card I pulled, but maybe it's just saying no person, place, or thing is love. You know? I'm going to pull one more card. It's a beautiful message, you all. It really is. This is beautiful. If you're on the same journey, please listen. Please. And I really hope you got this far. Because that's when it be getting good for me. I noticed that. I guess at the beginning I'd be a little nervous. But when I get in that flow, just give me a chance. We're gonna get better at this overall. But when I get in that flow, I be going. So I really hope that each and every video y'all are able to get to the end, because I believe that's really when it gets good. Alright, so I'm going to pull another card. It says intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. Wow. So remember that fork road, and I didn't want to do it. But thank God for intuition. And also, we could talk about that fork road, but you remember how I'm saying that this message is for someone, and every single thing that I said about my life someone else may be experiencing. So that may be the intuition within this as well. And it also may be, for you to trust your intuition in this time, for you to go within and really trust that inner voice. And especially you all, like if you are sitting and you setting that intention, you really going within and talking with the divine, and the divine has really showed up for you, have showed you visions, have showed you things, have given you the answers, and they've been right, or it steered you right the long way. Please, that intuition is true. You know what? Please just listen. Do your best to listen to your intuition. Just when we ignore our intuition, we're ignoring that inner voice. That inner voice gets louder and louder, and then it may just go silent. We have to listen to that inner voice, that intuition. It's so important. It's so important. It's so important to listen to that, your intuition. Now, how I hadn't been working from the ego, at that time in the fork road that I was telling you about, it would have been more easier for me to take the righter path. But at the time, I was working out of ego. And at the time, I thought my ego was my intuition. And that just shows a different type of strength, too, to take that step. I do know, I'm going to tell you this, I do know, like, after a while, I'm like, that's courage for you to set aside that time to go within. Because at that moment, it's not about money. It's not about a brand. It's not about how others look at you. It's not about being the best or having the best or who can do it the best. When you can sit out a time and really go within and choose you, no matter where you are in life, and come out the best version of yourself you ever been, that's courage. That's power. Look, courage right here at the bottom of these cards. Courage is right here looking me in my face, and I just so happen to look down. That is courage. That's courage. And know that those doubts and fears that come up, you don't believe them no more. Because you went in and you did that work. You went in and you moved that energy. You went in and you moved all of that. When the world was trending, when everything was trending, you went within. You went within because you want to know what? When the trends stop, guess who's going to be there? Because they've done it. Because they've moved that energy. They went within. They took that other road. Guess who's going to be there? You are. You are. You're going to be there for the people who... You're going to be there for just the many different level of individuals. It's not even about... You're going to... And you can be able to be that. You can able to really just be authentic and not be moving in another way. Is what I'm trying to say. You can really be that. You can really be in that and stand in that, and people will be able to see that and know that that's true, you know? Ground yourself in this time. Ground yourself in this time. You may just be starting this. You may just be going through this. You may be... Stay grounded. Be grounded in this moment. And know that you're evolving. You're evolving. And allow that this time to evolve. And have that courage. This is courage. This is not weak. This is not weak. Setting out that time for yourself is not weak. Do you hear me now out of it? I wouldn't be able to deliver this message accurately if this wasn't true. I wouldn't be able to... This is true. There's somebody that's going through this right now. to the many, it's many people that's going through the many things that I've said in the messages. Surrender, though. Surrender. That's the card. Surrender. Let love in. Let love guide you. I'm moving out of love. You got to move out of love. It's the heart. It's the center. It's the space you come to. When you're by yourself, it's the space you come to when you move. It's the space that is so liberating. And know that it's not happening to you. Notice that everything is happening for you. I really hope that someone got to the end of this message. I really do, because that's really when it gets good. That's when that truth just burst. It just, in the beginning, it be, I love the beginning too. I love every part of it. I love every part of this. I love every part of this. I love doing this. I really do. I really, 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 really love it. Like, I look forward to this. I look forward to it. And you would not hear me saying that some time ago. Like, seriously. You wouldn't. So. Oh, and I'm so glad I saw this card. There's someone who needs to cry. There's someone who needs to literally get this out. Get it all out. I'm being guided to say get it all out. If you gotta watch something to get you started to cry so that you can cry, please. It's time to cry. It's time to get it out. It's time to unthaw that heart that has been hardening for years and years. Imagine if you 30, 40, 50, 20, even 16, 12. Imagine not crying since a baby. Imagine not crying since a baby. Imagine how hardened your heart is. Imagine how frozen your heart is. It's time to melt that heart. I remember before I even just started this, I remember just before I came here to do this message, this was being guided for me to say. But I'm glad that I saw this card, so it reminded me. Grief. Grief is the card. Someone needs to cry. Someone needs to let it all go. Someone needs to let it all go. You ever did the slide down the wall and cry? If you need to do that, I've done it. Yes, throughout this journey, I've had many of those. It's really bad when you gotta knock down the wall while you sliding down the wall and crying at the same time. Now, I'm not gonna say that's pitiful, but I'm sure I looked pitiful, but it is okay. I'm not saying y'all look pitiful or that y'all will look pitiful, but when I like to laugh at myself. I don't really. It's love, it's experience, so I always like to look at the outside of myself. Just what if it was a camera, on me as I'm sliding down this wall crying? You ever had that cry? You really been through some things though. Sliding down that wall, then you knock. You do the little. Oh my goodness, I am not laughing at y'all. I'm not. I'm laughing at me because I've done that. So if you gotta just laugh about it when you're done. This is really, you ever cried, laugh? I know I'm getting off subject, but have you ever cried, laugh? Like you were crying, then somebody, like you thought of something you did, somebody did, or somebody, made you cry. You was crying and somebody made you laugh during the cry. Maybe I'm doing that now. Maybe somebody crying right now. Maybe this message has resonated so much. Somebody's crying right now. But some of the stuff I just said just made you, laugh with a little chuckle a little bit, a little giggle. But grief, Grief. Someone needs to cry, you know. Maybe that someone's me too, you know. So maybe I need to cry some more too. So thank you so much for listening to this message. I know that it was long today. I'm grateful that it was long today. I really hope you got to the end of this message, because I really felt like it really needed to reach. I know it's going to reach who it needs to reach. You know, I really do. And may you have a wonderful day. May you let the right discernment and guidance be within you at this time. Sending you so much love and peace and light. May you get it within the wind. Thank you so much. Have a great day.